How you doing, everybody? This is Jim Buck with Black Series Campers of Southern California out of the city of Industry. And today I'm going to be going over our articulating hitch that allows you to get off-road. So let's get into this. Let's get going. So what I'm going to start off with, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the car side of the hitch, okay? So what you want to do is, depending on the height of your vehicle, you want to get yourself a nice quality hitch. A drop-down hitch is what we typically use. Make sure that you follow your manufacturer's recommendations as to what size you're going to be getting. But again, check with your manufacturer on that stuff. So we flip it over so that way we have some height. That's typically how it ends up getting put on. Usually the vehicles are lower. And we're going to take our mounting nuts and bolts. So I'm going to take everything out. Now there's a shim here. I'm going to show you the shim because usually the opening here is much larger. So we put the shim in here. I'll go from underneath and I'll show you so that way the bolt fits a little bit better. Otherwise the bolt fits a little loose. So there is a shim that comes with it, okay? And so there's also a couple washers. So what you're going to do is you're going to take our Y. There's a Y hitch that comes with the vehicle, okay? And so there's not going to be a ball. Typically there's a ball mounted here. You're going to take this is going to go here, and then what you're going to do now, this is going to tilt on me, but you're going to go, like I said, you're going to put the shim in here, you're going to put this here, and then what you do is you take your bolt, you feed your bolt through. Once you got your bolt through here, I'll lay this on the side. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your flat washer that's going to set up flat. You're going to take your lock washer, put that here, and then you're going to use your nut and you're going to tighten up the nut. And you want to make sure that's nice and tight and secure. And what you'll see is you'll notice there's a couple little wings here on the sides. Make sure that it's not overlapping the wing. Make sure that you're placed in the center of the wing, okay? So you put this down, tighten it up, and then what you do is you take a large wrench, like a crescent wrench, something like that. Usually what I will do is I will actually place this into the receiver on the vehicle, and then that way I'll use my weight to push down and make sure this nut is nice and tight, okay? So that's one part of it. Then, once this is put in place on your vehicle, it's locked in place, what you're gonna do is this portion is what's going to slide over the poly block and lock in place. Now the way it's going to lock in place is with this pin. So the pin, once you have the holes lined up from here through the poly block to here, you're going to place the pin in here. Now if I put the pin in, you'll notice this goes all the way down to the metal. We don't want that because it's very hard to get your fingers in here to try to pull this out, or you have to do it with your fingertips, as you can see here. So it comes with a couple different pieces to keep it from burying itself. So you have a spring, you put the spring on here, and it has a washer, and you put the washer on here. So that way when you do put it on here, you notice now it stays up. So this is going to actually push down till you get to the opening, because there's an opening on the bottom, if you can see it there on the bottom down there. And then you take the cotter pin and you will feed the cotter pin through the hole. Now, once you have everything in place, let me put this through real quick, just so you can see. So the cotter pin's in place. So now when it comes up, you can see there's a gap here. So now I can get my fingers in here and get it pulled out when I'm trying to disconnect. So let me swap this out. Let me bring over the articulating hitch and we'll get through the rest of this. So here it is, the articulating hitch. This is what's going to allow you to get into those off-road boondocking areas. This is one of the main key pieces that allows Black Series to help you reimagine your destination. And so it's very simple. There's 4 bolt holes here. So this is going to mount with 4 bolt holes to the frame of the front of the Black Series units. We have this front piece here, this knuckle right here, this entire piece actually pivots 360 degrees. Not that you want to be flipping over your trailer, but that way if your vehicle's turning one way and the trailer's turning the other way, you have that articulation. It's allowed to flow freely. And there's actually a shaft that attaches here. and it goes all the way to the back. And so I'm just going to lift this up and I'm going to show you. Now there is a gap right here, maybe about an inch gap or so. And it's an important piece because normally going down the road, you're just going to have this closed. You're going to have a small little gap here because it's not any big issue. But when you're in the off-road areas, you want to open this up and it allows you more gap. That way, if you hit the brakes, if you slam on your brakes, the weight of your trailer is going to be absorbed by this section right here. And I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to flip it over here. And I'm going to show you. So here's the bottom half of that shaft. And if you see, the shaft continues all the way through and that's actually attached to this nut on the back. So as this turns, this nut actually turns. And if you notice right here, a very heavy duty spring. So like I said, what happens as the weight of the vehicle comes forward, or excuse me, as the weight of your vehicle stops, the weight of the camper will actually continue going forward, and this spring will absorb a lot of that compression, or it will compress and absorb a lot of that energy. So that way it's not taking it out on you and your vehicle, it's taking it out on the spring and this articulating hitch. Now, if you also notice, I'll tip it up on the side here, it has 2 grease fittings, okay? You should be making sure you're monitoring those and you're doing your maintenance at regular intervals. And the grease fittings actually feed into these 2 chambers here. It doesn't fill in the center area, it fills in these 2 chambers, okay? So, and then the last part of it would be the poly block. The poly block is made of a polymer. It's got a fitting, a metal fitting, or I believe it's a brass fitting here in the center. And the pin that we talked about just a minute ago is going to go through here, and I'll show you in just a second. But this block will articulate up and down, and will actually give you about 70 degrees worth of rise out of it. So these are all the pieces, or this is the main part of our articulating hitch. Give me a quick second, and we'll get the Y hitch, and we'll put it all together. So now we have the entire assembly here. We'll show you how it all goes together. So you have the trailer side over here, and then you have your vehicle side over here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna back up carefully, have someone guide you. And what you wanna do is, the idea is to get it so that way it slides right over, and then the holes line up all the way through between these holes, top and bottom, and the hole in the poly block. Once you get it lined up, you take your pin. The pin will slide into place, okay? Once you get the pin in place, then you gotta come down here, and let me turn this around a little bit, push the cotter pin in, all right? So now we have the cotter pin in. Now you are locked in place. You're ready to go down the road once you check out all your systems, have all your wiring done, everything's squared away, but now you are hooked up with your articulating hitch. So now that we're hooked up, this piece, the Y, is going to allow you your right and left turns with the articulation that way. The up and down portion movement of the block, again, allows you the hills and valleys. And then the motion of this block here is going to allow you that twist and torque on your vehicle with your camper. But again, you're going to be going right on down the road doing everything you need to do to get off onto your adventures, because Black Series, we love to help you reimagine your destination. So there you have it, everybody. That you have the Black Series articulating hitch. Hopefully you have no more questions. If you have some questions, please be sure to send them to us. You can get them to us at info@blackseriescamper.com. Send us any questions you may or may not have. Please make sure you pay attention and watch all of our other YouTube channel videos, so that if you have any other questions on anything else, again, we have our educational video library to find all this information. So there you have it, the Black Series articulating hitch. Again, this is Jim Buck, everybody, with Black Series Campers in Southern California, out of the City of Industry. Take care, and we'll see you out there. How you doing, everybody? This is Jim Buck with Black Series Campers of Southern California, out of the City of Industry. And we hope that you enjoyed the last video of a series that we just got finished watching. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to ask to make sure that you please like and subscribe to our channel, so that way you can see all of the videos that are coming up in our series. So make sure that you get out there, you smash that bell up in that corner up there. And again, this is Jim Buck with Black Series Camper, saying we hope you enjoyed that video. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.